On today's show, a few of our winter favorites. Up first, Waconia's Ice Crew, guys who never miss a chance to camp on the ice.
Let's get a fire going.
You know, it's cheap. You don't got to spend money in a hotel room or anything.
We got a waterfall in here.
We sneak away to a secret cabin where really fun stuff happens indoors.
A little high.
And a reunion for those of you who covet snow and cold and a stiff breeze in your face.
Minnesota Bound. Brought to you by Minnesota's select GMC dealers.
Hey everybody, Laura and I welcome you to the show.
Today we celebrate a few of our favorite winter tales.
Up first, it's a story about a most dedicated group of winter campers.
People who never miss life on a frozen Minnesota lake.
The winter scene on the lake named Waconia never seems to change much. Come ice season, come all the shacks. It's the same story, different winter. Until these guys show up.
Yeah. You have to bring a lot of stuff to be out here for 3 days.
The guys with the gear.
We're ready. Rock and roll.
Like clockwork, every February, this South Dakota crew drives to Minnesota and pulls out onto Lake Waconia. The question is, why?
It's mental health weekend.
It's good living.
A good living on ice.
Yeah, we've definitely started a tradition.
Waconia's first winter fish camp. It all starts with an old bundle of canvas.
It's an old DNR tent actually we got years ago up in northern Minnesota. I paid $25 for it. Okay.
The goal is to get the tent up and smoke out of the chimney in less than 1 hour. Ready, set, go.
All right, let's get a fire going in that thing. It ain't crooked, is it? Under an hour of smoke coming out of the chimney.
Yeah, yep. You know, it's cheap. You don't got to spend money in a hotel room or anything.
In just a couple of hours, the South Dakota crew settles into this comfy camp.
I think we've had 7 people in here before. Sleeping quarters. Yeah, we actually got it rigged to a dimmer switch in case you ever needed to set the mood in the tent. Yeah, we haven't had that opportunity yet, but...
Yes, this place always attracts attention.
That's pretty sweet.
You're looking for the hot spot.
I don't think anybody's got, you know, a style like this out here on Waconia yet.
Look at that. Oh, nice. Nice Lake Waconia crappies. Pretty cool.
Yes, they come for the sunsets, but stay for sunrise.
It's beautiful, isn't it? Can't beat it.
While the fishing normally comes first, the food comes in a very close second.
We're making crappie omelets right now. Here, the food they bring is just phenomenal.
There's just a little bit of butter in these. Oh, we eat a lot out here. And it's all wild game. I mean, we had everything this year. We had some goose and antelope and venison sausage and pretty wild game feed.
The guys used to come over for Waconia's wild game dinner. They kept coming back and turned the trip into their winter camp.
But the only time in the winter we get a chance of getting out of town. And couldn't ask for a nicer place to come to.
They've kind of become the non-locals locals want to meet.
You're Mike.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. Now, just Mike, right? Mike the fisherman, Mike the body man, Mike the barber.
Whatever you want. I'm not Mike the barber. That's someone else.
I know.
Mike Ernst was first to stop by and say hello.
The first year we came out here, they were on a spot that I would never fish, so they were complaining they couldn't catch any fish, so that's kind of our part now. We threw some tip-ups out and want to catch a big old pike for them. They haven't got a pike yet.
Mike now plays the role of fishing guide, although on this morning,
No bites yet.
he might not want to tell too many folks.
Yeah, it might be our guide service we hired this year.
So goes the story of 5 South Dakota fishermen who made a Minnesota lake their own.
That motley crew.
Their story is the stuff of headlines.
Wild about lake ice weather.
Now, if they could only find the fish.
Yeah, nice one.
Don't be putting that on TV.
Up next, an outdoor sport goes indoors just in time for the winter season.
There you go. Nice shot.
Minnesota Bound is brought to you by Minnesota Select GMC dealers, Star Bank, Rapala Ice Force, and by Splash.
You know, archery sure has become a popular sport, and we found a group of shooters who found a way to keep their favorite endeavor alive, even when the weather goes to pot.
If spring fever ever led you to dream of a quiet cabin in the woods, odds are
Wake 'em up, wake 'em up.
this would not be what you had in mind. Up in the Avon, Minnesota woods,
That's a leg shot. Ooh, drumsticks.
archers like to make a little noise.
Oh, come on.
It is if you're a bow hunter or a hunter.
Good one.
It's like your little piece of heaven.
Heaven to kids who like bows and arrows. Thing is, they could care less about spending time outdoors. They just want inside the cabin.
Ooh, it's gonna be crowded in here now.
Pretty easy to see why.
Yeah, this is a unique, one-of-a-kind place.
First time here, you have to be here to understand what it is.
Back in the mid-'80s, local Larry Notch wanted a unique place to shoot archery. Thing is, he couldn't find quite the right spot, so he built his own, one poplar log at a time.
It's 22 years ago already. It doesn't seem that long, but
Locals donated most of the stuff in here, and in the process, they created an outdoor world.
That one you did?
Inside.
How about your second shot?
It's amazing how much fits in this little place, huh?
We got pine trees in here, maple trees in here. We got a waterfall in here. That was fun too.
The Bear, that's an old garage door opener. AstroTurf from St. John's University football field, yep.
The crew even brainstormed this rig.
Oh, that trampoline, we tried to simulate a windy tree stand. For this neighborhood, it's kind of like the local pub. The guys gather and you can tell hunting stories.
That nice 10-pointer young buck, just beautiful looking rack.
it's kind of a landmark now, though. I mean, everybody knows where it is, you know.
That's about a 10.
Justin Nentel lives just up the road. He's one of the young regulars here.
A little high. Some targets are pretty hard, and some of them are pretty easy. The hardest one, probably that little turkey right there. That's the hardest, because it stops for a minute and then it takes off right when you shoot.
The goal of this place, not just to entertain, but to educate as well.
Oh, buddy.
Just why Dan Orloff stops with his son.
Okay, now try the woodchuck. He's been kind of beating you up all night. There you go. Nice shot. This is great. I'd love to have it. I've hunted with my dad all my life, and now he's retired, and I need somebody to bring with me, so it's kind of nice. And I'm excited to have my daughter that wants to hunt. Take your time.
Yes, daughter Caitlin's learning to shoot too.
Teaches them the control. I mean, to listen and, you know, the stance. It's good for them.
And good for the sport.
It kind of keeps the sport alive all year round.
But just one problem in this archery nirvana. Seems no one ever wants to leave.
Yeah, nobody does, really. I would stay here all night if I could. That's how fun it is.
Where's your rig?
Still ahead, we document a reunion dear to those who appreciate the cold sting of wind chills. It's a story of riding old machines.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Minnesota Rebath.
Up next, Bill Shirk discovers a Minnesota family with serious ties to the old world of snowmobiling.
Crosby's Serpent Lake fishing tournament might be big. Plenty of folks had their eyes on the other event just across the bay.
Today is wonderful. This is 2 to 3 times larger than what we were hoping for.
It's something you don't see every day.
Where's your rig?
In fact, it's first of its kind.
I don't have words to really describe how I feel today here.
We're just delighted at the amount of people that have come here today.
You see, Scorpion Snowmobiles called Crosby, Minnesota home for 25 years. The company's long gone, but dreams of the machines are not.
It's amazing how many old sleds are still in existence and that many people would be willing to bring them out for this Scorpion homecoming.
The Scorpion story started back in the 1950s with this guy, Glenn Gutzman.
Started out from duck hunting. We're on a rice bed. Couldn't figure out any way to get through that rice, you know.
So he and co-founder Dick Harrison headed home and found an old 3-horse outboard motor.
So if we put a propeller, air propeller on this thing, well, we can blow ourselves through there.
That was the start of Trail-a-Sled. The company refined the design and started selling machines.
The air sled was one of the earlier attempts to really open up winter travel.
Soon enough, the company moved on to smaller, more inexpensive machines, early models of what we know as the snowmobile.
It was a completely new world, opened up the snow belt. Winter travel will never be the same.
By the 70s, Scorpion employed 500 people and cranked out 200 machines a day. But poor winters and a slow economy forced dozens of snowmobile manufacturers to eventually close their doors. So it was with Scorpion in March of 1980.
And when they went out of business, I just got, actually I felt real sad inside because there was no way to get parts.
Guys like Bill Dieter started collecting Scorpions.
Because there is nothing built like a Scorpion.
That may be the reason so many people showed up for the reunion.
You realize that it is not forgotten, but in fact, the memories of these sleds and what they represent is really cherished by a lot of people. Well, what you have here is the personal Harrison collection.
Randy Harrison felt so strongly, he built the family museum. It's full of machines, accessories, and all the stuff to keep you warm during cold winter months.
We've always loved these machines, but when we realized that other people love them too, it gave us a reason to bring them together in a place where people can come and enjoy them together. This has become a very special building for us because it represents certainly our family history, but very much the history of the community, but also the history of snowmobiling in Minnesota.
He also decided to put on the reunion. Looks like the work paid off.
Actually, I shed a couple tears because so many stories, memories, fun was soon to be forgotten. And it was the collectors that are really keeping the dream alive. It's a special thing. It's very special.
Straight ahead, today's Minnesota-bound classic focuses on a winter angler who never seems to be able to leave the lake.
Minnesota Bound is brought to you by Connecticut, Mountain Dew, and by Totem Resorts, the premier destination for world-class fishing.
Today's Minnesota Bound Classic takes us just a little bit west.
Right along Highway 12 to South Dakota, where one fishing guide never seems quite able to go home.
Most who know ice fishing know of the train that could, North Dakota's Perch Express. But you ever heard of the Perch Express Way? U.S. Highway 12 runs right out of Minnesota and into a South Dakota town where the city sign tells it like it is. A place where augers run deep, and so do winter traditions.
It's just fun getting out, trying to outsmart them. Frustrating.
Les Rowland makes his Monday morning rounds. Thing is, this South Dakota guide never seems to fish alone. See, the Perch Expressway ends here on a lake called Wabe.
That's going to be a good bite later on.
Les, like so many others,
Oosh. Good morning.
Hunts these frozen waters.
Nice fish.
For South Dakota gold.
That's respectable.
A catch that, at times, can be hard to come by.
They're fussy this morning.
Thing is, plenty of people fish Wabe not just for the fish, but for the lake's reputation.
The lakes just kept filling.
See, back in the 1990s, the glacial lakes in the area experienced a lot of flooding. Wabe sits near the end of a long chain of lakes, so the floodwater ran down and Wabe filled up. Look around and you'll see just what happened.
Any road that crossed, they're all flooded under about anywhere from 10 to 14 feet of water. Just north of us, out of Grenville, there was what they used to call Lover's Lane. There was a bunch of trees with a road, and that went right across. That's all underwater.
The water rise created 60,000 new acres for fishing. It also created a buzz down at the local bait shop.
It's been tremendous on Saturday night.
People want what hides in these glacial lakes, those fat 14-inch perch, like the bait shop pet Buddy. Just the reason Wabe gets pretty busy each afternoon. It's a lake full of folks like us.
Oh, come on.
The perch beggars.
Come on.
Come on, just bite, please.
Come on, don't go away.
Bite, 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 bite.
I would say in the last couple of years, you have to have a lot of patience.
Patience until the setting sun hits the trees. That's when the talking needs to stop.
The biggest thing that they say is, well, the fishing. Oh, I had one.
And the fishing starts.
I got to move to hold the hole right now because they're. Oh, here we go. Oh man, this whole screen's full. That's good.
Oh yeah.
Look at that. Isn't that nice?
Holy smokes.
That's what we're looking for right there. Beautiful, beautiful fish. That one right there is a pound, a solid pound.
Yeah. Look at that.
Isn't that pretty?
South Dakota gold right there.
I gotta get back in there.
Get them? Oh yeah.
Hold the hole is what pays off.
That's life on a flooded Wabe. At the end of the day, when it's time to go,
oh, are they back? No.
We don't. Just can't help it. South Dakota gold tends to make a guy greedy.
I need one more. And then after I catch that one, I need one more.
Just one more, and then just one more.
As anglers, we just can't say no, can we?
Mm-mm.
Well, that about does it for us. We'll see you back here at the same time, same place next week.
Until then, don't forget to introduce a kid to the great outdoors.
Just one.
Transportation provided by Premier Transportation. Call 1-800-899-7433. To get more Minnesota Bound, including full episodes, go to mnbound.com. And to follow our latest adventures, like us on Facebook.